And in your second book, Parker was going to a mummy museum, right? And it's Parker Plum and his journey through the catacombs. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Okay, so in the second book, Parker, two things happen to Parker. So a new student comes to his class named Skylar, and Skylar is kind of outshining Parker in a way. You know, he's new, he's got lots of interesting stories, he's been places, and Parker's feeling a little bit left out, not as special as he used to feel. They're also going on a very special field trip to the Mummy Museum. And when he gets there, he encounters a magical cat who kind of guides him through this journey of learning how to think like a cat, which for Parker means realizing that everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses, and it's okay to celebrate your strengths as well. Like if you're feeling a little low, or you're feeling like maybe you're not fitting in, or you don't feel as special as you think you should feel, you can celebrate your strengths and kind of remind yourself of all the good things that you have going for you. So that's kind of the gist of.
Well, and again, one of the things too I want to talk about with the stories, the artwork is very different from traditional storybook artwork, and that very much ties in with the fantasy and imagination of the stories and helps to build that. And especially in this one of his journey through the catacombs, and because there's so many little, like the windstorm from the Egyptian windstorm, and then looking like a pharaoh, and the artwork is just great.
Yeah, so Madeline Tim is the illustrator of the story, and she did a fantastic job. I mean, it's so beautiful. She got all the beautiful gold tones in the Egyptian Museum, and the sleekness and beauty of the cat. So yeah, she definitely helped to bring that story to life.
And this story is especially, I think, does a really great job of helping kids kind of wrap their heads around and process the idea of not comparing themselves to others, which has become easier and, I think easier and easier to do because everything is out there with social media and, oh, people were doing this and I'm not doing that. And, so thinking like a cat, using that CAT acronym really helps to give a very useful strategy in thinking that kids can apply right away, that there are going to be people, everyone has brings their own strengths and abilities and talents to a situation, and everyone's different, and you got to let go. One of the things where Skylar could travel around the world, and Parker's just like, well, that's not me, so I got to let that go.
Right.
And that's such an important lesson for kids to learn, and written in the story in a way that I think is is helpful, easy for kids to understand.
Right. And hopefully also the premise of having like this magical cat kind of guiding them through will also help kind of reinforce the acronym and just, help them remember a little bit better, because it's kind of an absurd but interesting way of approaching the situation.
And again, more very great length vocabulary. You could go through this book again and make a fantastic vocabulary list for docent because they go to the museum, and there's different there was a couple other ones and I should have written them down, but again, just that little bit, that level of pushing vocabulary and challenge, I think, is such a key part of your books too.
Thank you.